In a move that sent shockwaves through the political and legal communities, Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, once again made headlines. This time, not for rally speeches or social media outbursts, but for an astonishing admission during a podcast interview. What started as a casual conversation morphed into an on-air confession, revealing the depth of Trump's attempts to manipulate the 2020 election results. This revelation is not just another footnote in the ongoing saga of Trump's presidency, but rather a pivotal moment that could be pivotal in the prosecution's case against him in the D.C. election interference case. His words, casually tossed during an interview, are more than just a soundbite. They may serve as damning evidence of criminal intent. Federal prosecutors like Jack Smith are undoubtedly adding this latest confession to their already bulging case files. The question now remains, is this the final piece of evidence needed to prove Trump's attempt to subvert the democratic process? With former Vice President Mike Pence at the heart of the saga, Trump's bold admission puts his criminal intentions on full display, leaving no room for doubt about his involvement in the January 6th insurrection and the broader conspiracy to undermine American democracy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to reaching 1,000 subscribers, but we can't do it without you. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe right now. And if you're already subscribed, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment to let me know your thoughts. All right, let's dive right into it. A good relationship turned sour. The interview began innocuously enough, with Trump reflecting on his once solid relationship with former Vice President Mike Pence. Trump admitted they had a very good relationship, hanging out some, but the tide quickly turned when the topic shifted to Pence's role in the election certification process on January 6, 2020. Trump lamented that Pence couldn't cross the line of doing what was right, a statement that not only serves as a critique, but also as an insight into the pressure Pence faced during that critical moment. Trump's choice of words, "cross the line," is telling. It paints a vivid picture of a man frustrated that his vice president refused to participate in his efforts to overturn the election results. This line, as federal prosecutors argue, is the one between legality and illegality. Trump wanted Pence to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power and declare him the winner, despite the will of the American people. By publicly stating that Pence couldn't get over that line, Trump has, in effect, admitted that he sought to involve Pence in illegal actions. The shadow of January 6th and Pence's defiance. To understand the gravity of this admission, we must revisit the events of January 6th, 2020. Trump's rallying cry to his supporters that day was clear: stop the steal. But behind the scenes, his strategy was even more sinister. Trump, along with key allies such as Rudy Giuliani, Steve Bannon, John Eastman, and others, orchestrated a pressure campaign on Pence, urging him to use his ceremonial role as president of the Senate to refuse to certify the Electoral College results. As detailed in the superseding indictments against Trump, and further corroborated by court filings in Georgia and Washington, D.C., this pressure campaign was a central part of Trump's conspiracy to defraud the United States. The goal was to delay certification, create confusion about the Electoral College results, and ultimately allow state delegations, where Republicans held a majority, to decide the presidency. Pence, however, refused to participate in this plan. In what has been described as a rare moment of courage, the former vice president resisted the immense pressure from Trump and his allies. On that fateful day, Pence performed his constitutional duty and certified Joe Biden as the rightful winner of the 2020 election, despite threats to his safety and the chaos unfolding around him. Trump's continued creation of evidence. Trump's casual admissions, like the one in this podcast interview, have become a hallmark of his legal woes. As Michael Popek, a legal analyst for Legal AF, aptly put it, Trump is continuing to create and manufacture new evidence against himself This particular statement about Pence not crossing the line is the latest in a series of damaging remarks that federal prosecutors are likely adding to their arsenal of evidence against Trump in the election interference case. Prosecutors like Jack Smith and his team are undoubtedly scouring the internet for every word Trump utters, knowing that his tendency to speak off the cuff could provide them with the smoking gun they need. Trump's inability to control his words has proven to be one of his greatest liabilities, as each new statement further implicates him in the conspiracy to overturn the election. Mike Pence's legal and political legacy. For Mike Pence, this entire saga has been nothing short of career-defining. A once loyal vice president, Pence's decision to uphold the Constitution in the face of overwhelming pressure has elevated him, in the eyes of many, as a figure of principle. However, Pence's refusal to fully break with Trump politically has left him in a precarious position. While he resisted Trump's illegal demands on January 6th, Pence has been hesitant to openly condemn the former president, perhaps out of fear of alienating Trump's base or jeopardizing his own future political ambitions. But the fact remains that Pence's refusal to participate in Trump's coup attempt likely saved American democracy from a constitutional crisis. His decision to consult with Judge J. Michael Luttig, a respected conservative legal scholar, played a pivotal role in his choice to defy Trump. Luttig's guidance, which was later shared publicly, reinforced that Pence's role in the election certification was purely ceremonial. Luttig's intervention not only bolstered Pence's resolve, but also provided the legal justification for his actions on January 6th. In the years since that fateful day, Pence's relationship with Trump has deteriorated. While Trump has continued to criticize Pence for not overturning the election, Pence has remained largely silent, choosing to focus on his political future rather than engage in a public feud with his former boss. But as Trump's legal troubles mount, Pence may find himself once again at the center of the political storm, especially if he is called as a witness in Trump's upcoming trials. J.D. Vance, the future of Trumpism. While Trump's admission about Pence dominated headlines, another name emerged during the podcast. J.D. Vance, the Ohio senator and Trump loyalist. As Popek noted, Vance has become a symbol of the new generation of Trump allies, malleable, obedient, and willing to do Trump's bidding at every turn. Described as mashed potatoes in a suit, Vance's rise in the Republican Party is a testament to Trump's enduring influence. Vance's loyalty to Trump raises serious concerns about the future of the Republican Party and the American democratic process. Should Trump or one of his loyalists return to power in 2024, there is little doubt that individuals like Vance would be at the forefront of their administration. Unlike Pence, who ultimately resisted Trump's illegal demands, Vance and others like him may not have the same sense of duty to the Constitution. Trump's legal and political future. As Trump continues to speak freely about his efforts to overturn the 2020 election, his legal team is undoubtedly bracing for the impact. With multiple indictments looming, including those in Georgia and Washington, D.C., Trump's legal battles are far from over. His recent comments about Pence are likely to be used by prosecutors as further evidence of his criminal intent, strengthening the case against him. Trump's continued creation of evidence through his public statements is a double-edged sword. While it may rally his base and reinforce his narrative of victimhood, it also provides prosecutors with the ammunition they need to secure a conviction. Every word Trump speaks is another piece of the puzzle that federal investigators are carefully piecing together. At this point, Trump's legal strategy seems to hinge on delaying his trials and appealing to public opinion rather than focusing on a substantive defense. But as the walls close in around him, it's becoming increasingly clear that Trump's own words may be his undoing. Donald Trump's bold admission during a podcast interview has sent ripples through both the political and legal spheres. By openly acknowledging his frustration with Mike Pence for not crossing the line and participating in his scheme to overturn the 2020 election, Trump has provided prosecutors with yet another piece of damning evidence. His tendency to speak candidly, even when it incriminates him, continues to create a mountain of evidence that could ultimately lead to his downfall. For Mike Pence, this latest chapter in the Trump saga is a reminder of the immense pressure he faced on January 6th and the crucial role he played in preserving the integrity of the election. While Pence has largely stayed out of the spotlight, his actions on that day will likely be remembered as one of the defining moments of his career. As for Trump, his legal troubles are far from over. With multiple indictments and ongoing investigations, the former president is facing the fight of his life. And as he continues to make bold admissions in public forums, he is only digging himself deeper into the legal quagmire that could ultimately bring an end to his political ambitions. Whether his loyalists like J.D. Vance will be able to carry the torch of Trumpism remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Donald Trump's words will haunt him in the courtroom for years to come.